moment he was taken to kidnap, they started looking by the river, looking for him, because they put a lot of us in the rivers. They weren't afraid of going to jail, but they didn't want the land desecrated with bodies laying everywhere. So they tried to throw them in the river, basically, or burning them. It was a whole different way of life and attitude that's not really explained or talked about, because who's going to write it? I talk to black people, say I get mad when I talk about it, so they don't want to talk about it, and we just don't talk about it. We still don't talk about it. And every family has a story to tell. Every family has a story to tell. Emmett Till's grandmother and Mose Wright's wife or sisters. Let's start with Mose Wright. He said, I'm going to testify, I may not live. He pointed them out, but I have lost a child, I don't care what happened. He went home one night, he couldn't sleep during the trial. So he slept in the cemetery in his car. Next day they said white men was around your house all night last night. Because in the South, you just didn't do that. I mean, if you had to live down there, they hung people for reckless eyeball. You know what a reckless eyeball is? Looking at a white woman. And he gonna point them out, there he is. In 1955, that's death on sight. When Emmett Till whistled, we knew that there was a death. He had no idea. Nobody was gonna help you. And people who did try to help people, they didn't write it in the books. They didn't write it in their newspaper. They hung them. Emmett should have never been seen again. Mamie Till thought that she could be killed in the courtroom, in the courtroom of law. She said, I wonder if I can get out of here alive every day. The atmosphere and the attitude was of such. She's in a United States courthouse with the police and everything there. Can I get out of here alive? I can't count on these people to protect me. Mamie Till stayed at the Dr. Howard. He had a plantation, he had his own guards out there, that's where she stayed at. Those are things that was true, that's not written, and it helped paint the picture of what it was really like during that time. The guy there was a prosecutor. You know, every attorney in Mississippi became a what? Defense attorney. Who's gonna prosecute? Even the person that decided he's gonna prosecute, what do you think happened to him? You don't even hear that story, do you? You don't hear about Smith, the prosecutor. He got the same threats that black people got. I talked to his son named Jack Smith, he's still around. They had to have the state police at their house all the time. Showed me all the articles. He had a scrapbook of how his father was threatened. And you could see the fear on his face. But he had the fire in his belly. First, this is the first trial ever that we know of where they even prosecuting a white man for doing something to black. All of that atmosphere, you have to take all that into consideration. It's a whole nother life that we don't talk about because it was so terrible and it makes America look bad. So what they did, they kind of justified by making it acceptable by saying, well, he said this and he did touch her, you know, trying to justify why they treated him. Normally, cases like that just went under the river, under the water, never heard from him again. God would have this went all over the world. You can't look bad like this, we can't go out like this. So he did something, even our people say he must have said something deserving. For 30 years, I experienced, they say, he got what he deserved, 30 years.